Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to Ziggy Air. Today, we are in the island of Tanzania, in the city of Zanzibar, and we are continuing our trek around the world in the TBM 850. And if you've seen my videos before, we've been flying around the world. We started in the east coast of the United States, and we've been flying around. Lately, we've been flying around Africa. So we came in from Madagascar into Zanzibar, and we're now going on our continuing trek, and the next stop is going to be Mogadishu. And I'm going to, this time I'm going to use the default ATC because there have been some improvements since the last update to the default ATC, and I want to see how it performs. Why don't I get this baby started, and if you want to join me on the startup procedure, you can do so, or you can join me on the runway for departure. All right, I'll have the links down below. All right, let's get this thing going, and what we're gonna do first of all is we're going to get this battery on and then the radio master on so we can get some clearance, and the radio master is on.
Zanzibar Tower Ziggy 11
Get that on.
Zulu Alpha 1123 IFR.
We're getting some clearance here. Contact Zanzibar Tower. We're going to be taking off from runway 36, climbing, initial climb to 9,000. Departure frequency is 119.3, and our squat is 3405. Great. All right, we're gonna need a pushback. No, we don't need a pushback. So, all right, let's get this. Our lights on.
And maintain 9,000 feet. Departure on 119 tree squawk tree 405.
We're going with ignition to on. And then we're gonna get the starter going. We're gonna get the auxiliary full pump on. Selector on. We're looking for NG of 13%. And introduce some fuel here. See our ITT rising. And it's stopping at 821. That looks good. Alright. Let's go back up. Start her off. Ignition to auto. Get our generator on main. We'll get the bleed air because it's quite hot, and I'm sure Ziggy doesn't like it this hot. Well, sometimes she does, but I don't like it this hot. So auto air conditioning to on. That looks good. All right, let's go. And we're gonna set our fuel pump, auxiliary fuel pump to auto, and let's acquire our signal here. And AP trims are on. EFS master goes on. And we're going to be using the NXI, the GTN 750 NXI. The only problem is that the AIRAC it's kind of out of date. And let's see, expired the 29th. So hopefully that won't be an issue. But we'll adjust if that's the case. All right. So,
TOS system test okay.
Things look good over here. And let's get our IFR clearance, which we already did. runway 36. Oh, sorry. So this is an issue with that I don't like with the default ATC, is that you see all of the other traffic communications. With FSHud, you have a switch that you only see yours. So sometimes you have to look around here, and so all right, so that's fine. All right, so let's set our initial altitude to 9,000 over here. Okay, and altimeter. Let's do the altimeter. Is, did they give us the altimeter? QNH. Didn't get the QNH, so we'll just have to set it automatically here. Okay, 60. That's our 54 actually is our altitude at the airport on the provided charts. So let's go to flight plan, menu, catalog, menu, import, and we want, so we'll select this one. That's where we go.
Going to 119er decimal tree.
Yep, that is correct, and then we'll activate that plan. All right, so let's look at our charts here for a minute. And do we have charts here? No, we don't. See, it's 54, but we don't have charts. We don't have departure charts or anything like that. Let me see if we have that in Navigraph. No, there are no sits, no stars. We only have approach charts here. Okay. All right, so we'll take off from runway 36. We'll taxi out, come back, and then runway 36, 30 or 25, and pick up our track here. Okay, so that's our briefing here.
Tower
All right.
121.2 when ready.
We are good to go, my friends.
Taxi to
Let's taxi
Old Shore
straight
runway
out
tree
to
6
runway
using taxiway
36.
Alpha Ziggy 11. Zanzibar
Request
Tower
takeoff.
Ziggy 11 23 Zulu Alpha 112 tree ready for IFR departure runway tree 6.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree, altimeter 29er, decimal 801042 at 10. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6 Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree.
All right, we're clear for takeoff. Let's take a look at, we need, we always wanted to, we don't need pitot heat or anything. We are 86 degrees. Everything else looks good. All right, parking brake off. No flaps today. Line up here and make sure we are correctly lined up. All right. All right. Let's set our takeoff thrust. And release parking brake, and where we go. We're looking for 80 knots for rotating speed. V1, rotate. Alright. Positive climb, gear up. Yaw damper on. Gear indicated.
Alpha 112 tree. Contact Dar
Looking
Center
for
on
7-degree
119er
climb.
Good day.
119er decimal tree Ziggy 1123
Autopilot on.
Alpha 112 tree. Goodbye.
And we're
Dar
gonna
Center
climb.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree is passing 800 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
Best rate of climb here.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu
We
Alpha
are in
112 tree. Dar Center altimeter 29
Zanzibar.
zero radar contact.
Right, we're gonna
Continue
be
to exit.
taking
Ziggy 1123
right here to
Zulu
pick up
Alpha
our track.
112 tree reset transponder. Squawk tree 405.
We're gonna reset the transponder to 3405. Not sure why they're requesting that.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree. Your transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset squawk tree
Turn it on.
405.
3405. We'll
Dar Center
request our
Ziggy
clearance
1123
again.
Zulu
Not
Alpha
sure what
112
happened
tree
there.
requests destination change to Mogadishu.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree is cleared to Mogadishu Airport as filed. Squawk
We'll
tree
go to nav
405.
mode.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree cleared to Mogadishu Airport as filed. Squawk tree.
So we were
405.
altitude reporting. That should have been fine.
1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree read back correct. Radar contact
2980 is
3,500 feet.
altimeter.
Altimeter 29er decimal 80.
Heading
Continue
of
to exit
025.
turning. And following heading 025, resume own navigation climb and maintain
And we'll climb to
9,800
9,800 feet.
Continue to exit turning and following heading 025. Proceed on course climb and maintain 9,800 feet. Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree.
Alright, so a little bit of a problem there in terms of the squat, and I'm not sure, maybe that's an issue with the NXI, or maybe they wanted me to turn it on rather than altitude reporting. I never had any issue with that in terms of altitude reporting. I've always been able to pick it up. Alright, so take off from Zanzibar on our way to Mogadishu. God bless you. Alright, let's I'm just gonna turn on the pitot install heat, even though there's no moisture, or our temperature is 61, and our cabin temperature is 69, fairly comfortable for Ziggy. All right. So far, a couple of hiccups here in terms of the default ATC. I never had an issue with a FSHud with that resetting resetting the I'm sorry, I was gonna move it to GPS. It was in GPS anyway. Resetting the squawk here. So I had it usually have it on altitude reporting as I take off or on the runway, and it just had an issue with that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been doing it wrong for that long, and that's not the way. But I never had an issue with FSHud. All right, let's go to 1100.
Maintain 11,000 feet, Ziggy 1123, Zulu Alpha 112 tree.
So far, a smooth climb. I think that, yeah, 1500 is a good climb rate for Ziggy. And we need to set up our cabin altitude to pressure here. And I think that our initial cruising altitude will be 28, so we'll set it at 29 here. Go up to 1500 to keep it nice and comfortable. Beautiful aircraft, I have to say. Like I said before, I have flown around the world in the 930, and that was a great experience. That was back pandemic years where we were working from home. We're still working from home, but we were working from home, all of us, and didn't have much to do for entertainment. So picked up a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and enjoyed my trek around the world in the 930. And now I have the 830, and I have to tell you, this is a fantastic aircraft. It's really well done. It's the analog black square. Really well done. Look at this. Dashboards here. It's just really well done. I'm sure they took a lot of pictures to recreate this, but this is true. If you watch videos from Steve-O-1 Knievel, you could see how this was fairly well recreated here. Alright, so am I gonna get an altitude climb here to our cruise altitude? Good. Torque looks good. Oil pressure looks good. Oil temperature looks good. Excellent. Alright, we can get rid of our landing lights. And we'll continue with our nav lights. And we'll turn on the strobe. Make sure I forgot to put the oxygen on. So. Although we don't have any passengers except Ziggy here. Alright, so let's look at our cabin pressure, and we'll just go to, since we're going to cruise at 21, we'll just set it to 22,000. Alright, my friends, we're about 15 minutes away from our destination of Mogadishu. Let's review our descent and approach into Mogadishu Airport at Den Adel. And we need to go to 15. I didn't hear that. Sorry, just too much of. Looking at the charts, so do that, and we'll expedite that to, let's do 500. Reduce our speed. And see what else they gave us here. Right, 15,000 so far. Let's set our cabin pressure. Probably it's going to be sea level here because it's 28 feet above sea level. And go back to our landing lights. Look at our fuel. It looks pretty good. All right. Not giving us any approach here, but given the wind, we are going to go and select that approach. Procedure, approach, and that's gonna be RNAV 5. And we're going to load and activate. It's gonna be transition, it's gonna be vectors, but we're going to be using map. Back on. Yeah, that's probably closer to where we are here. If not, we'll change that. Over here. So it's coming in. We'll load and activate. All right.
Not above 210 knots. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 05 approach via off-lift transition.
6,000.
Descend and
Yeah,
maintain
expect
6,000
RNAV
feet. Keep speed
Y5.
not above 210 knots. Expect
We select
RNAV
that.
Yankee runway 05 approach via off-lift transition. Cleared to off-lift Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree.
Yep, right on the money. So 5Y, and our transition is up map. Excellent. Alright, let's review our approach checklist. Start with the descent. We're still above our transition altitude, so we'll wait for that. Cabin pressure elevation is set for 28 feet. Pulse lights are on. The icing system is not required. We'll set the initial separator on. It's a lot of dusty here. That's a dusty airfield here in Mogadishu. Airflow as required. Ignition not required. Fuel imbalance checked. That looks good, and we don't need to select that. It's pretty even right now. So descent checklist completed. So it's been a great around the world flight, and we have ways to go here, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's accumulating some hours here in the 850, which is really helpful in terms of
Going to 119.7 Ziggy 1123.
learning
Zulu
all the
Alpha
systems
112 tree.
and getting used to
Mogadishu approach
different
Ziggy
landing
1123 Zulu Alpha
scenarios
112 tree,
here.
6,000
Got almost
feet.
80 hours in the in the 850. I'm sorry.
Zulu Alpha 112 tree. Mogadishu approach altimeter.
Very
29
enjoyable,
decimal
great
81
aircraft.
meters. Contact. Continue to MM777.
All right, we'll
Mogadishu
contact
Tower, Ziggy
Mogadishu
1123
approach.
Zulu Alpha 112 tree, 14 miles southwest inbound RNAV Yankee runway 05 approach.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree. Mogadishu Tower. Altimeter
We're
29
clear to land.
decimal 8 tree. Wind 060 at 11.
2983 is
Cleared RNAV Yankee
altimeter.
runway 05 approach.
Cleared RNAV Yankee runway 05 approach Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree.
I think they should be giving us clearance for low altitude here. So. Let's bring this down to 3,000 on our approach. I wonder why didn't they clear us to that approach altitude. Yes. So we need to be at T-backs at, should have been at 3,000, and they didn't give us that. So we're gonna hit T-backs. We're gonna need to be at 18. Let's go bring this down. Speed is good.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree. Wind 060 at 11. Cleared to land runway 05.
All right,
Cleared to
let's
land
set the
runway
landing
05
gear.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree.
So that is an issue. They didn't clear us for any. After 6,000, they didn't clear us for any altitude. So it's down. All right, let's do a visual here and disconnect the autopilot. Go manually here. Sometimes when I change the trim, manual trim, it kind of jerks around. Coastal town of Mogadishu in Somalia.
500.
Off track here. Flight aisle bill. Okay. Looking good. that landing. Alright, we can exit over here. Where are we going to exit here? They haven't given us any instructions here. Alright, we'll exit over here.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree, turn next taxiway. Ziggy 1123
Perfect.
Zulu Alpha 112 tree, contact ground on 118.1.
Going to 118.1 Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112
Alright, let's
tree.
clean this baby up.
Mogadishu ground Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree. Request taxi to parking.
Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree, taxi to general aviation.
Yeah, they're not very
parking,
clear.
Taxiway.
Taxi to general aviation using
Taxiing
taxiway.
to
Okay.
general aviation parking using taxiway Ziggy 1123 Zulu Alpha 112 tree.
I got it. I think we're right. It's right in front of us. All right. Flaps up. Got the after landing checklist. De-icing systems are off. Initial separator on. Bleed air as required. Weather radar off. Get the radar. It is on standby. We'll turn it off. Flaps up. Landing lights off. I hate this. Alright, taxi lights on. Strobe lights off. So one thing I don't like about it's all the black. Sometimes it's really hard to see. Pulse lights are off. And oxygen supply is off. After landing checklist completed. Alright, let's go. Park over here. Check on the lights. So net lights are off. Okay. I think it's right in front of us over here. Yeah. But I'm not sure what he's doing, what all these dudes are doing here. Getting in front of us here. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, frankly. It's supposed to be over here. Do your job, man. Do your job. All right. Welcome to Mogadishu in Somalia. And continuing our trek around the world in the TBM 850. Today we checked the updates for the default ATC, which seemed okay. I had an issue with the cruise altitude, didn't give us that, and had an issue with the approach altitude, didn't bring us to the correct approach altitude on our approach profile, so that's an issue. So I don't see any improvements here on this default ATC. I mean, we've been doing FSHud. FSHud has been great. So still a ways to go. Default ATC, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know why they bother. They should just either adopt some third-party option and maybe buy, I don't know, some, FSHud, or buy some other third-party one and incorporate that into as part of the default ATC. I am not. A lot of people are hyped about Beyond ATC. I think that these developers from Beyond ATC bit more than they could chew. They were not. They admit that they are not developers for this. Is the first time they're doing this. They're supposed to release the app in October, and that's not happening. Now they're saying 2024. That's gonna bump into the release of Microsoft 2024. I don't know why they're bothering. I think that's a flop. I think Beyond ATC is a flop. That's my opinion. I've been saying that from the start. There was too much hype. They keep changing things around. They have a video that they went and had to recreate everything. So I think I'm gonna stick with FSHud so far. It's a really low footprint ATC. It does this job. It's really flexible. The developer is committed and continues to provide great updates. So in any event, this is where we are. And again, my friends, always fly Ziggy Air and join us for the next trek where we're going to be traveling. I still don't know where we're going to go. It's going to be somewhere in East Africa. So maybe do Somalia, the tip of Somalia, or maybe we'll just fly straight into Saudi Arabia. I still haven't decided yet. So, but join us, my friends. Thank you for your support, and if you like this video and you like the pet adoption cost, you fly with your pet and your pet tells you support Ziggy Air, go ahead and do that. Buy me coffee, join my Patreon account. That will be great. All right, till the next one, thank you. Always fly Ziggy Air.